Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about mid-range smartphones of the year, Samsung's Galaxy A56 5G. Now, whether you're here because you're looking to upgrade your current device, want a reliable backup phone, or just curious about where Samsung is going with its A-series lineup, this video is for you. We'll be unpacking every single angle of this phone, from the design language to performance, camera setup, battery life, software experience, and even how it stacks up against the competition. So make sure to stick around, because there's a lot to uncover. And by the end of this video, you'll know whether the Galaxy A56 5G is truly worth your hard-earned money. Let's start with the design. Samsung hasn't reinvented the wheel here, but what they've done is refine it. The A56 5G sports a sleek, minimalist aesthetic that continues the visual language we've seen in the A54 and A53 before it, but with slight tweaks to the frame and materials. You get a plastic back with a matte finish that resists fingerprints better than you'd expect, and the camera housing is now flush with the back, echoing the flagship S-series design. The phone feels solid in the hand, not premium in the same way a Galaxy S24 Ultra might, but definitely not cheap either. And yes, it's available in several colors, from basic black to more vibrant options like blue and lavender. There are definitely choices that aim to appeal to a younger demographic, or at least people who don't want their phone to feel like a corporate-issued slab. The sides are slightly curved, making the device comfortable to hold during extended use, and the weight is well-balanced. Not too heavy, not too light. For a mid-range device, Samsung's attention to ergonomic details is definitely worth applauding. Now, one thing I know many of you care about. Does it have a headphone jack? Unfortunately, no. Samsung continues the trend of phasing it out, so you'll need to use USB-C audio or wireless options. But they did include IP67 water and dust resistance, which is a welcome feature at this price point. Next up, the display. And this is where the Galaxy A56 5G really shines. No pun intended. We're looking at a 6-inch Super AMOLED panel with a full HD plus resolution. And most importantly, a 120 Hz refresh rate. That buttery smooth scrolling? It's here. Whether you're browsing Instagram, gaming, or just navigating through menus, the experience is fluid and responsive. This refresh rate has trickled down from flagship devices to the mid-range, and it's fantastic to see it here. Peak brightness comes in at around 1000 nits, which is more than enough for decent outdoor visibility. The colors are vibrant. Contrast is excellent, true to AMOLED form, and viewing angles are solid. Whether you're watching Netflix or editing photos, this display will not disappoint. One more thing. Samsung's implementation of iComfort Shield helps reduce blue light exposure, which can make a real difference during nighttime usage. It's not just marketing fluff. It genuinely helps if you spend long hours on your device. Now let's talk performance. The Galaxy A56 5G is powered by the Exynos 1480 chip, Samsung's in-house SoC for the mid-tier lineup, paired with 6 GB or 8 GB of RAM, depending on your variant, and up to 256 GB of internal storage. This phone can definitely hold its own. In everyday tasks, think web browsing, social media, email, and YouTube, the A56 5G performs admirably. Multitasking is smooth, apps load quickly, and I didn't experience any major stutters or lags. The RAM Plus feature also allows for virtual memory expansion, using storage to extend RAM, which is handy for heavier multitaskers. Gaming is also very respectable here. Titles like Call of Duty, Mobile, PUBG, and Genshin Impact run at medium to high settings, with only occasional frame drops during intense scenes. It won't rival the performance of a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, but for this price point, it's more than enough for most users. Thermals are well managed too. There's no major overheating, even during prolonged gaming sessions or video recording. Samsung seems to have tuned the chipset for efficiency, not just raw power, and it pays off in real-world usage. Let's shift our focus to one of the most important aspects of any smartphone, the camera. The Galaxy A56 5G features a triple-lens rear setup, led by a 50MP main sensor, supported by a 12MP ultra-wide, and a 5MP macro lens. The front camera is a solid 32MP shooter, great for selfies and video calls. In daylight conditions, The main sensor does a fantastic job. Images come out sharp, with natural colors and decent dynamic range. Samsung's image processing leans slightly toward vibrancy, but not overly so. It gives your photos that pop most people enjoy. The ultra-wide sensor captures a much broader field of view, and while detail can drop slightly at the edges, it's perfect for landscape shots or big group photos. The macro lens? It's a bit of a gimmick, as is often the case, but it works well enough for those ultra close-up moments. Low-light photography is where mid-range phones usually fall short, but the A56 5G holds its own. Thanks to Samsung's night mode, you get usable shots even in darker settings. There's a bit of noise, sure, but detail retention is decent, and color reproduction remains fairly accurate. Video recording maxes out at 4K at 30 frames per second on both the rear and front cameras, and you get features like super steady mode and slow motion. Stabilization is electronic, not optical, but it works well for casual use. Now, let's talk software. The Galaxy A56 5G ships with One UI 6, one based on Android 14, and this is arguably one of Samsung's biggest advantages. One UI is clean, intuitive, and feature-rich without feeling bloated. You get access to useful features like Secure Folder, Link to Windows, Edge panels, and Samsung DeX Lite for certain work modes. Customization options are robust, and there are thoughtful touches like good lock modules that allow even deeper personalization. Bloatware is minimal, especially if you choose to disable or uninstall the preloaded Samsung and Microsoft apps you don't use. The overall experience is smooth, and animations are fluid thanks to that 120Hz screen. Samsung is also promising 4 years of Android updates and 5 years of security patches, which is huge for a mid-range device. This means the Galaxy A56 5G will remain relevant for years to come, not just a short-term purchase. When it comes to battery life, the Galaxy A56 5G doesn't disappoint. It's equipped with a 5,000 milliamp hours battery, which is pretty much the standard for modern smartphones, and for good reason. You can expect all-day battery life easily, even with moderate to heavy use. That includes a few hours of video streaming, social media, gaming, and photography. With lighter use, you might even stretch into 2-day territory. Charging is handled via 25W wired fast charging. Now, it's not the fastest in the business, especially when compared to the 60W or even 100W charging on some Chinese brands. But it's safe, reliable, and doesn't degrade battery health as quickly over time. Wireless charging? Not here, but that's expected for this price bracket. As the name implies, the A56 supports 5G connectivity, both sub-6 and mmWave, depending on your region. If you're in an area with 5G coverage, you'll see faster downloads, smoother streaming, and lower latency in online games. Wi-Fi 6 is also supported, which future-proofs the device a bit more and ensures faster, more stable connections on compatible routers. Bluetooth 5.3 and NFC are present as well, so contactless payments and accessories work seamlessly. Call quality and signal reception? Solid across the board. Samsung has optimized the antenna as well, and the phone handles network transitions, like switching from 5G to 4G smoothly. So how does the Galaxy A56 5G stack up against the competition? Let's start with the Google Pixel 7a. The Pixel offers a more refined camera experience, thanks to Google's computational photography, and it receives faster Android updates. However, it has a smaller battery and a lower refresh rate display, just 90 Hz compared to the A56's 120 Hz. Then there's the OnePlus Nord CE3. It brings faster charging and a more aggressive price point, but its software support isn't as long-term, and the display quality falls short of Samsung's Super AMOLED. And don't forget the Motorola Edge 40 Neo, which also punches above its weight with clean software and curved design, but can't quite match the A56's camera reliability or build quality. All in all, the A56 lands in a sweet spot. It's not the cheapest, but it offers one of the most balanced packages. So who is the Galaxy A56 5G really for? If you're a casual user who wants a phone that just works and lasts all day, this is a solid choice. If you're into media consumption, the display and battery life will impress you. If you need a future-proof device without splurging on a flagship, The long software support makes this a smart pick. Even light gamers and content creators will find a lot to like here. It may not be a game changer in any one department, but it's consistently good across the board, and that's valuable. In closing, the Galaxy A56 5G is one of those rare mid-range smartphones that doesn't make you feel like you're compromising. Samsung has created a phone that looks good, performs reliably, takes decent pictures, and will keep getting updates for years to come. It's not flashy. It's not trying to be the next big thing, but it is dependable, well-rounded, and represents a mature product from a company that understands what users want. So if you're in the market for a mid-range device that checks all the essential boxes without draining your wallet, the A56 5G absolutely deserves a spot on your shortlist. Thanks for watching. And as always, if you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the A56 5G, or tell me which phone you want reviewed next.